Hi everyone! In my unboxing video, I told you that I was struggling to make these weekly Hobonichi spreads work for me as a time blocker. But the truth is, I haven't tried time blocking in the Hobonichi ever since I picked it up this year. So I thought I would give it a try because I figured out how to do my dailies, figured out what to do with my monthlies, and yeah, why not give the weeklies a try as well. For myself, I prefer functional planning. So I use time blocking not as a memory journaling tool, but rather something whenever I procrastinate or when I have way too many tasks and they overwhelm me, then I do a time block. And I got acquainted with time blocking via Cal Newport, and I actually bought his planner. So he is this famous professor and author, and he writes about productivity. So he talks a lot about how he time blocks. The thing is, his planner, while I love the concept and I love like a little chapter on time blocking here and where he explains it, like if you're a Hobonichi fan, you'll see what's wrong with it. It's a little bit basic for me, like the print, the design, the type of paper. So instead, what I did is I created my own spread that I use in GoodNotes, and I'm happy to share this with you. I will upload it somewhere and link it for you. And yeah, I will show you how I use this. But I will try now in my weekly spreads, just a random weekly spread, and let's see how that goes. I'm warning you guys, this probably will not be very aesthetically pleasing because I'm leaning over the table and I'm very uncomfortable, but it's about the function. First, what I do is I fill out the lifestyle blocks and any meetings that I have from my Google Calendar. About the lifestyle blocks, I might sometimes start with sleep, and that really depends on what kind of results I want to get from my time blocking. So for instance, if I haven't been sleeping enough, if I have been going to bed very late, then I will plan sleep, just because it will make me more mindful about the period before sleep, like the few hours before, which I would dedicate as wind down time, and then I would plan something specific, something to do or not to do for this time. I don't do it always, but I do it whenever I want to go to bed earlier, which was actually the case yesterday, and it helped. Then I plan the meetings that I have for the day. I just open my Google Calendar where I keep them all, and I will transfer the meetings here. Actually, another lifestyle block that I like to plan is walking, because this is my form of exercise. I try to walk 10,000 steps per day. However, I will plan it towards the end because I use walking as a sort of rest in between brainier tasks. So depending on how I plan my day in terms of work, somewhere I will insert that walk at the very end. Like I said, I don't do time blocking every day. I do it when I have a lot of tasks or when I'm procrastinating. And usually, if that's the case, I have a lot of stuff in my head and I don't have a list of tasks, like a full list of tasks on hand. I might have a list, but then I have many more things in my head and I need to brain dump first. And I've been thinking here, actually, I've been using my dailies for this. So I have an ongoing reflection here, and I have like my calendar schedule, like with some events and then tasks on this side. I might use this space to brain dump, but actually on my template that I've created, I separated my time blocking template into two, the schedule and then the tasks on this side, and I just write out all the tasks here. So after I'm done with brain dumping, I end up with this long list of tasks. Usually it's long because I do this whenever I feel overwhelmed, whenever I have too much to do. And so for me to be able to quickly process it and move the tasks from this list onto my calendar, I need to categorize them a little bit just so my working memory is not a strain when I look at it. And the way I do it, I usually start off by marking my work tasks, I just put a dot next to those tasks. I do the same thing in my dailies, and I know that this is work. Since I do brain dumping here, I will also write down tasks that can be done on a different day, and I will mark it here. I will later on transfer it to a different list, but the important thing is not to keep this in your head, because as we're keeping this in our head, we're using working memory, and that doesn't allow us to focus as well on other things. So I will do that. And then I will also mark some contextual things. So for instance, if I need to go out after I do my work and I need to go into the city to do certain things, like do the groceries, so that would be city, and then to get a new pack of masks, that's in the city. So I know that these should come together and they share the context, so I will do them together probably when I walk, and I mark them down, and immediately it's easier for me to work through that list and put it into my schedule. Notice how I say that I sometimes do this and I usually do that. That's because it really depends on the context. If I have a very short list, it obviously does not need categorizing. I can look at it and I can immediately plug it into my day. So it really depends. If I look at it and I feel overwhelmed by it, then I categorize it. And then I will sometimes estimate how long a task will take. You figure out when it's helpful and when it's not, so I know the kind of tasks that I need to be more mindful about, because it can be just one thing on my calendar, but it will like on my list, but it would take me the entire day, and it's helpful when I explicitly write it down, that let's say this would be 4 hours, and just having it here, like knowing that, oh, this will take up 4 hours of my day, helps me to plan it. Another thing that I've been doing is actually marking the time in between meetings, because I used to be the person that whenever my day would be fragmented by meetings, I would waste the time in between. Like I would just, like, let's say there's actually 1 hour and a half here, and I would spend that 1 hour and a half just waiting for the next meeting because I didn't plan anything better. Like, I don't know, like I would maybe check my email, reply to a few emails, so use this time very wisely. And after I started literally writing down, and I've been doing this, I started doing it not here actually, but in my Hobonichi. I've been writing down that between, for instance, this and that meeting, I have 1 hour, 40 minutes. When I do that, I then match a task that, okay, I think this will take me to, like, let's say 1 hour and a half. And I immediately see, oh, I have 1 hour and a half here. I can do that task. I can blog this task here. And I know that I need to start as soon as possible because the task will take me as long as this slot lasts. So yeah, once I have those non-negotiable building blocks of my day, I can now distribute my tasks throughout the day in the way that makes most sense to me, in terms of, like, I know I have a lot of energy in the morning, a lot of focus, so this 2 first hours from 8 to 10 are always sacred to me, because I know I can get so much more done in that slot, so I do the most important thing. And then somewhere I will include some walking, and I will make sure to do this contextual tasks while I walk, like drop by the store, do whatever other errand that I have to do. As I said, I will add this towards the end when I have all of my tasks here. Now, I'm looking at this again, and look what a huge difference this is. How visual it is here, how much space I have. I can zoom in, like I can be more precise. For instance, this meeting is actually 20 minutes, and I could actually make it look 20 minutes. While here, for me, I mean, I think I'm facing the exactly same, like I'm drawing the exactly same conclusion that I did last year. It's just, for me, not enough space. I want to zoom in, I want to pinch in and see like exactly how my day looks like. So I think, since I'm not doing this every day, I'm not going to waste these spreads for this. I'm going to use them for something else. I don't know what yet. However, I will keep using my own handout for time blocking, and like I said, I'll link it for you as well in case you want to do it. You can either print it or you can use it on your tablet. Now the question is, do I stick to my plan 100%? No, not at all, and that's not the point. Actually, the first part of the day, right until lunch, which, by the way, I eat at these intervals every day, like I eat at the same time, and so I know that before lunch, I usually stick to it quite well. And then after lunch, sometimes I overestimate or underestimate how much energy I will have. Sometimes things start to pop up, and if there is, for instance, an urgent task or a colleague needs my feedback, I usually use the first half of the day to continue with my plan because I plan the most important things here. And then in the second part of the day, I might either swap some tasks, or maybe I'm just tired on that afternoon and I'm slower, or I get less done. So that's fine. I think the point of this is to give you general direction and also make sure that you, like with this, I do make meaningful progress every day, because the first part of my day is very intentionally structured. So that really works for me. And also I want to say that I've been using time blocking with some of my coachees, and what I noticed is that at first, most of them, they start out by time blocking for a perfect person, for a perfect day. They don't take into account that they will get tired, that their motivation will go down. And I think the point is, the more you do this, the more you learn about yourself, the more you know what is your resilience level, how long you can keep working on what kind of task before you crash, before you need some rest, before you don't want to do it anymore. And so if you stick to time blocking, I think over time, your plan gets more and more realistic and becomes more and more helpful to you. So I would, like, if you've never tried this before, or if you've tried and given up because it discouraged you, because you made a whole plan and it didn't work for you, I would say look at it as a system that gets better the more you use it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions. Make sure to grab the template if you like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!